This is truly insane. We are at the 2024 Paris-Roubaix, the third of 5 cycling monuments, up here in northern France in a little village called Cobbles. Even the ground you see me walking on here, it's unstable. And today, riders are racing over 55 kilometers of these cobbles, stones much worse than this, in the 260-kilometer classic that is Paris-Roubaix.
It's a race where chaos can happen.
It will be a hard day out, it will be a hard fight.
Either you love it or hate it, and for me it's definitely, I'm in love from the first second.
We're not in Paris, no. This race is called Paris-Roubaix, yes for sure, but we're just outside of a chateau in a village north of the French capital. And the race, Roubaix, well, it finishes in a little textile town just on the border of Belgium, straight north of here. It finishes on a cement velodrome, a smooth cement velodrome. To get to that velodrome from here in Cobbles, the riders have to cover some rough, tough, cobbled roads. Roads that are so ugly that in today's society, they would be canceled. But these are the cobbled sectors that make up the third of 5 cycling monuments.
The way they are, the shape they have, the mud, the water, I mean, it's not an uphill, so all the water stay where it is. Yeah, we expect pretty bad surfaces, especially the first 4 cobbles.
I mean, they ask us to go over some of the most ridiculous roads for 60k. So it's one of the biggest challenging bike races to get right in terms of equipment, nutrition plan. Anything can happen out there, so I think that sort of excites you going into that challenge.
You have to fear the course and the race itself, not anyone else. The race always wins here, I think.
The race began in 1896. Back in the late 1800s, well, that's when all these long endurance events, like the cycling events, began to pop up and appear. We wanted this long distance stuff back in those days. And back in those days, the roads were rough. To get from Paris, where it started back in the day, up to Roubaix, the riders had to cover those rough and tough cobbled roads to get to that velodrome where the organizers of the race, the owners of the textile factory that was next to the velodrome, that's where they wanted the race to finish, outside their textile factory. Now, over the years, all throughout Europe and here in France, these cobbled roads, well, they're disappearing because everybody wants to drive their cars and ride their bikes on smooth roads, and well, we can't blame them. Luckily, there are associations here in France and in Belgium to help preserve these cobblestones, these sectors that make up the races in cycling, and thankfully so, because they're an integral part of what we have today.
Yeah, these roads, they only get used by us and tractors, and apart from that, you know, they're just only there for us, I think.
It's a big monument, one of the biggest monuments we have, and it's a huge tradition of cycling, and that's also why I'm ambassador of the Armée de Roubaix. They are protecting these cobbles, and they are trying to keep it in the racing calendar, and also on the traditional parcours.
In the world of modern cycling, Paris-Roubaix is out of place. With this Velodrome finish, the cobblestones to get there, and when you get there, if you choose, you can take a shower amongst others in an old sports hall, lukewarm water. This race is what we love though, Paris-Roubaix. It's a throwback, a retro throwback. It's like an old souped up Mustang with its motor howling at the night.
There's a dynamic and some aggressiveness in these races that you just don't find anywhere else on the calendar, and I really, really enjoy that.
When you finish and you arrive in the Velodrome, it's also a special moment. So yeah, it's my favorite race.
Yeah, it's iconic. I mean, it's a special race, but in the end, I think everybody is happy when they enter the Velodrome.
To get to the Velodrome, doesn't matter if you're first place or last place, like everyone's got a story, it's amazing, and you feel like, yeah, it's almost like a massive challenge for everyone in the peloton. It's not just the winner is happy, everyone's happy when they get to the Velodrome. So I think that's what makes it special.
It's a historic race, and yeah, you can't beat racing on cobblestones.
The riders, in this case warriors, there's Tom Pidcock right there, head out on their journey north of Compiègne, farm roads, cobblestones, and this is what we love, the Hell of the North, the 2024 Paris-Roubaix.